Thank you for inviting me to this IMA Students Forum. And I'm really happy to be with you all. And I'm always with you all, with Venkatesh and Raghunandan, all there, and my, Abdul Hassan and Jailal and others who are my close friends, working together for a period, and Shiv Joshi, who was now has been climbing into this ladder of medical field, as I saw him as a student and also as Venkatesh and Raghunandan, like all, and Dr. Sampath Kumar, Dr. Kanagasabai, who are here as an expert. And of course, this national exit exam 1 and 2 has come bolt out of blue, like everybody, but we had this in our mind. But all of a sudden, like the draft coming and giving us time to think over it, and giving us suggestions to make things possible smooth is the question right now. And we would work, all of us work towards the goal which the nation, the health ministry has done. And I would say this objective learning is a very good part, and it is easy for the students to go through the examination rather than writing the essay, where you have a general knowledge about everything, but you can write something out of whatever your knowledge is. So it is easy for them to get into, though they don't have a depth of knowledge. When you have this objective structured examination into the focus, it is easy. One thing is, I would say it is easy, and it is easy for the students when they get into the depth of the knowledge, which they have to know, the must know category and the nice to know category, and may know, like they need to know. So the most of the questions would be like the 60% of it, where it is must know category, where every student would go through. But the only thing I would say is, here it is the teachers, the faculty, who have to train the students, right? The faculty has to get trained by themselves, like how to teach the students the in-depth knowledge, and also the feedback from the students has to happen in the various way in their teaching methodologies. Though we have the competency-based education training, which all the teachers have to undergo one time or other, is compulsory. But still more, since this platform of objective learning has come into play, the students require the in-depth knowledge about the must-know category, where the teachers have to teach them in depth. How to teach them is the knowledge to be gained by the teachers. So it is it comes as a multidisciplinary teaching methodology, where it is objective assessment has to be made, and this assessment is gives a feedback to promote attainment of the predefined professional competency learned by a student, and to provide the student with a chance to appreciate their learning and a longitudinal competency development in their course of learning. So what are the different modalities has to be adopted, where you have the workplace-based assessment has to be done for the assessment of the competencies for teamwork. We have to have a group team of organizational skills and professional behavior of a student. All has to be incorporated. Maintaining a multi-source feedback on a routine performance from the experts, by the peers, and by the health professionals. All this has to be added while teaching us. So the all-in-one, I would say the teachers have to take a training program for, it has to be inculcated into the competency-based curriculum, which we have a training program, ATCOM, it has been said. So each teacher has to be trained in the multiple choice question, how to frame the multiple choice question, and they have to be trained, and how to train from the first year to final year, where the vertical integration has to be made, because as you know that this objective structured questions have an applied part of it, and skill-based, everything. So how to teach them is very important. So the training program has to be included in the ATICOM module of MCQ preparation, how to teach the students in depth by the must know category and nice to know category, and okay, it's fine to know, good to know. All these categories have to be trained by the teachers. So I would suggest that the teachers have to be change their attitude from the lecture mode of teaching to a peer group teaching or a mentor-mentee teaching into group teaching, and see that they apply all this knowledge to the skill-based learning, whereas at the output they know everything, whatever they have read, and have a feedback in each and every class. That is what I want. In each and every class, they have to have a feedback from the student with then white paper, what they have learned. One or two or three or four questions might be given by the teacher at the end of the class, that they will get the feedback, or one to two discussion, or a mental sums. I think so many of the old people have mental sums in the schooling, right? You remember, I do not know how many of you have undergone it. At the end of the class, they will give the mental sums. Within 1 minute, they have to finish it. So give them a 1 minute paper and ask them the feedback. So you'll know where they are. And you can, the next class, you can give the MCQs for them, 10 MCQs. That is what I always suggest, of the previous classes taken by the teacher. So the next class, they are trained for 10 MCQs. So this is what is my suggestion. So it is the teachers who have to be trained now for teaching the students in various other teaching methodologies to be used, rather than the lecture mode, which we, because of the time constraint, the NMC has given that you have to take in a lecture mode. Though there is a group discussion, small group discussion, and flip chart, everything is there. But now, so everything has to be changed now. The teaching methodology has to be changed so that the students get trained up for the MC objective structured questionnaires, which they have to go through in the next one. I mean, exit exam one. That is what is my suggestion. And the students also would be happy to learn these kind of objective learning. Would be easy for the students to come up to know. So each medical colleges also will gear up of a uniform standard throughout the country when this is implemented. And I learned from Abdul Hassan, like there might be some of the coaching centers approaching many of the medical colleges. We had also discussion. I said, why? The teachers are there. Let them learn how to train the students for the MC. I mean, the objective structured questionnaires or objective such learning of their clinical skills. Everything the teacher has to be teach. Why should we allow the external factors to come and teach them? Might be let them learn from outside, but not inside the medical colleges. This is my suggestion. And the whole thing has to be faculty centered. That when you train the faculty, the students automatically get trained. So the teaching methodology should change, and the formative assessment should be with the objective structured questions and skill-based learning in the clinical examination, which will improve the standard of students and their learning capacity as an well-defined doctor when they come out. So that is what I want. Thank you one and all for inviting me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for the very informative speech. Before we move on to the next speaker, with